The Athenian assembly gathers beneath the shadow of the Acropolis, voices rising in fierce debate. Citizens shout not in fear of Macedonian conquest, but in defiance, for Athens stands free. Beyond the city's walls, hoplite armies prepare, phalanxes forming not under Macedonian kings but under Athenian generals. In this world, Philip II fails to subdue Athens, and Alexander never inherits Greece as his springboard. Athens endures as the heart of an independent Greece, rewriting the future of the West. In our history, Athens lost its independence in 338 BCE at the Battle of Chaeronea, where Philip II of Macedon defeated the Greek coalition. The once great city became a subject of Macedonian power, its democracy reduced, its influence overshadowed by Alexander the Great's empire. Alexander spread Greek culture far across Asia, creating the Hellenistic world. Athens remained important, but no longer supreme. But what if Athens had never fallen? The hinge lies at Chaeronea itself. Imagine that instead of defeat, the coalition of Athens and Thebes triumphs. Philip, too, overconfident, is killed in battle. Macedon collapses into succession disputes, leaving Athens secure. Without Macedonian domination, Greece remains free, with Athens as its leader. Immediately, democracy is preserved. The assembly continues to thrive, producing statesmen who guide Athens into a new age. Instead of losing confidence after defeat, Athens rediscovers its strength. Spartan militarism fades into history, Thebes remains an ally, and together, Greek city-states establish a true league of equals, centered not on empire but shared governance. Lives change instantly. An Athenian farmer near Marathon continues to vote in the assembly, shaping foreign policy. His sons, instead of serving Macedonian overlords, train as free hoplites. A philosopher in the Agora debates justice without fear of suppression. In Thebes, children grow up proud that their city stood with Athens against Macedon. In Macedon itself, nobles feud, their kingdom weakened, never producing the unified monarchy that launched Alexander's conquests. The cultural consequences are staggering. Without Alexander, Greek culture does not spread by conquest across Asia. Instead, Athens becomes the beacon of civilization, spreading its influence by trade, colonies, and diplomacy. Philosophy deepens, science advances, and democracy spreads not by accident but by design. Picture Aristotle. Historically, he tutored Alexander, shaping the young conqueror's worldview. But if Alexander never rises, Aristotle remains in Athens, building his Lyceum into a powerhouse of science. He collaborates with other thinkers, Plato's academy thriving alongside his school, creating an intellectual golden age. Mathematics, astronomy, and medicine advance at dizzying speed. Without war, Athens channels its energy into knowledge, becoming the world's first true university city. Religion and myth shift too. Instead of being co-opted into Macedonian and later Roman politics, Athenian festivals like the Panathenaea spread across Greece and beyond. The Olympic Games become not just contests but Panhellenic assemblies where ideas as much as athletes compete. The gods themselves are reshaped by democracy, Zeus as the guarantor of assemblies, Athena as the universal goddess of wisdom, their cults tied to civic ideals rather than empire. Now imagine the Mediterranean. Persia remains strong, but instead of being conquered by Alexander, it endures. Athens does not challenge Persia militarily but diplomatically, forging trade alliances. Greek merchants sail east, bringing philosophy and democracy with them, not spears. The cultural exchange between Greece and Persia occurs through dialogue, not war. Ideas of governance, freedom, and citizenship infiltrate Persian elites, creating hybrid systems centuries earlier. Rome's story is profoundly different. Historically, Rome absorbed Greek culture after Alexander spread it eastward. In this alternate world, Rome encounters a living, thriving Athens at its height. Latin culture is shaped directly by Athenian democracy, not Macedonian imperialism. Instead of adopting monarchic traditions, Rome develops republican ideals even faster, inspired by Athens. The Roman Republic may emerge stronger and earlier, its philosophy deeply Athenian. Zoom again to individuals. A Roman youth studies in Athens, learning philosophy directly from Plato's successors. A Persian noble receives Athenian envoys, their speeches filled with democratic ideals. A woman in Athens, though still restricted in politics, finds her role slowly expanding as debates about equality begin centuries early. Across Greece, children grow up not under kings but assemblies, their minds shaped by freedom. The ripple effects on Christianity are enormous. Historically, Christian theology grew out of the fusion of Jewish tradition with Greek philosophy, particularly Platonic and Aristotelian thought. In this world, Athens schools flourish even more, producing richer philosophies. Christianity, when it arises, enters a world already saturated with democratic ideals. Its theology may lean more toward civic ethics, emphasizing community governance rather than imperial hierarchy. By the medieval era, Europe looks completely different. Instead of fading into Rome's shadow, Athens' democracy and philosophy remain alive, passed down through generations. There is no rediscovery of Greek thought in the Renaissance because it was never lost. Universities, inspired by Athens' model, developed centuries earlier, accelerating science and exploration. By the modern age, democracy is far stronger. Instead of emerging in fits and starts during the Enlightenment, democratic ideals spread widely by the Hellenistic era. Monarchies exist, but they coexist with vibrant republics inspired by Athens. The United States and France may still declare independence, but their models are direct descendants of Athens, not Rome. The world is more democratic, more educated, and perhaps more egalitarian centuries ahead of schedule. But there are risks. Athens was brilliant, but it was also turbulent. Its democracy was fragile, vulnerable to demagogues and instability. An Athens-led world might face constant political upheaval, frequent revolutions, and slower imperial stability. Without Macedonian unification, Greece might remain fractured, even if democratic. Progress would be fast but chaotic. Still, the vision is striking. The Acropolis never bows to Macedon. The Parthenon stands not as a relic but as a symbol of living democracy. Plato and Aristotle's legacies are preserved without interruption. The world inherits not Alexander's empire, but Athens' ideals. So, what do you think? Would an Athens that never fell to Macedonia have created a freer, wiser world, or one too unstable to endure? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Sheriff Reactions for daily flips, because history isn't just what happened, it's what could have happened.